Hey, Mr. Spoatcoat, how's it going?
What's up with you, all right?
Man, I'm good.
You out there, it's hot out there, ain't it?
It's been raining.
It's been
Surprisingly,
right.
it's been raining in Cali.
Oh yeah, y'all catching that rain right now. We coming
Yeah.
off that cold.
Yeah, man, I know it's cold where you guys are at.
Oh shit, yeah.
But we'll get right into it, man. For the people who don't know, where are you from? Where are you out of?
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, Detroit, man, the 313, man. What was it like for you growing up there?
Shit, I mean it was it was Detroit streets. Rough from West Side over off of Finkel, and I come up in I actually was in Cali for a while at one point, and but some craziness took us back to Detroit and shit, at a younger age. So when I got back and we moved in certain situations, you start seeing that life. Being on the West Side is hard. I just went from seeing dead bodies chopped up in the car next door, and to losing friends, to everything coming up, as a younger. So, but it expanded into getting caught up in the streets. So that turned it hard, making them choices hard.
You're originally from Cali? Is that what you were saying?
We actually originally from Detroit, but we went out there because we stayed out there for about like a few years when I was younger, and then they came on back here, and then that was like I probably about like 6 years old or something.
Okay. So you came
I
back
wish
to
I would have
Detroit?
stayed out there from the path that I originally, what I wind up taking. It'd have been so much of a easy flight for me.
Okay. And at what age were you when you went back to Detroit?
That was Detroit. I think we was that was young, about 6. That's when I went back to from Cali. I think I was like about 6, 7 years old, and then that's when I went into on the West Side.
What was it like for you growing up there?
It was tough to one point when you make choices, but it was the choices that you don't have to make tough, because we brought up in the environment that it's easy to fall, prey to certain things if you make them choices. But you can keep your nose straight too, and stay up out of certain situations. But we make them choices with certain mind states, we wind up falling right in. And I know I did. Shit, 12, 13, I was ready. 12, 13, I'm already grinding, sitting in the spots over in Brightmo, East Side, So them was just them choices, because you wanted to get out there so quick.
Okay. And what was going on at that age that made you want to get into the streets?
Shit, it was just around. Actually, I was, it was just around, so much with cousins and all the mothers that, that was already selling dope and shit. So it was easy to do. It was easy to get into. So I started sitting in the spots. That's when, Detroit was more or less, from their dope situation, they had the spots. Others, had trap and on the corners. Originally, Detroit was like, these the spots. So that's where I started out, sitting in them roach-infested spots and grinding and doing shit I ain't even have to do at fucking 15 and 14 and shit. That shit was just crazy. Man, Brightmo, if anybody around know about Brightmo, they know how that shit is from Brightmo to the East Side.
And as a kid, you're sitting in these spots, you're probably seeing some pretty wild things. What were some of the things that you seen during those times?
Shit, I done seen I done seen shit like from I can recall, because actually I used this in one of my books. I use it. Actually, it's in the book, and it's gonna be in the script, because we doing, I got a movie for it coming up. But actually, I seen this female, because I'm in a roach infested dope house and shit, and I wake up and I'm smelling. I'm like, what the fuck am I smelling in this motherfucker? So I come up in there. She trying to get high, but her whole head on fire while she's trying to smoke it on the motherfucking stove. That shit was so motherfucking crazy. that was some crazy shit at that point. But I mean, I seen it so much when you out there and shit. Cause I done been in the spots where is one way in through a window and that's one way out that motherfucker. And that was some, crazy shit over there off of Cadillac, Kircherville, all them areas over there. That was where like the chamber boys and all them come up around that area.
And at what point did you stop?
Well, it was like at every time that I was doing anything at a point when cause I went through the prison and going to jail shit. I done did some years from juvenile into the in adult situations. I mean, some shit was just by just got caught up in the in that loop where you don't know no better. And pleading to certain shit that you shouldn't be pleading to, or even saying a damn word, and got yourself caught up in some other shit that lead into other shit. So that's when like 15 going to juvenile, it was something different, and then that stemmed over to going into adult prison.
What they bust you for at 15?
Shit, with 15 pistol. Yep, that was that pistol. Then I, some little dope. Then cause it was like 2 different charges and whatnot. So.
Oh, how long did they send you there for?
I did actually out of that I did a couple months and then turned around did a year when I got caught with the pistol and wound up going in one of the camps and one of them situations. So it was one of them one of the boot camp. It really wasn't a boot camp, but it was just one of them type of situations up in Michigan. So I went from there and then come back out, and once I come out of there, I think I'm about like 16 or whatever, but I ain't never follow up with no probation, no nothing around that time, because I'm not thinking. And then I wind up getting caught up on some other stuff later, which automatically 17 pushed me to the DART system. So that was a change for sure.
At what point did you start coming to LA to perform?
LA, I ain't come to LA for a while, because when I started, it was I come out of prison and my brother come to me. And he got he trying to put together his group. So he got a group, but he want to manage it. So I'm not thinking about no damn rapping or none of that. I'm not doing nothing. So I'm coming out trying to be back, in the street type deal. I hadn't learned really, because you go into these correctional facilities and you're really not learning, you know what I'm saying? They're really not correcting you. So you just sit up in there and just wait until your time over. So I come out in this situation, and then he brought it to me to do the music. So when he brought this up to do the music, that's when we started going into making CDs as a group and stuff like that. So this was way before I even started doing the solo, because I didn't start going to Cali till after I was really doing the solo music. Because we did the group stuff for years. Because I did come to Cali with the group, because we did some stuff. That's when I first met Gang. That was actually we did the group. Because Gan flew out there. They was messing with somebody that was in Compton or something like that, and then they took us to the studio, and we over there, and it's red. They got the red lights in there and everything, and this motherfucker was rapping. This nigga would not shut up, and I'm like, he's somebody, he's something. But he was young. It was young then. He had just really started bubbling. But when I heard what he was doing, with it, I'm like, oh yeah. So basically, when I came back from Cali with that, the game changed for me. I'm really trying to do it now. Shit. Then after my brother passed, the one that brought me into it, it was just a whole nother motivation. Because actually, I lost both of my brothers, kind of in the beginning struggle of it.
At what point did you start doing music?
Shoot, that was around, we put the first one out, 94, we put the first EP out. And that was Gans.
So in
No, that was
1994,
actually
you're
gangs for life.
still in the streets? Are you still in
Oh
and out of
yeah.
jail?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The whole time, that's what's fun in the whole thing. The streets. If any rapper out here that's from the streets that's rapping, 9 times out of 10, what they using is in the streets. Shit, many times you doing plenty deals up in the motherfucking studio. Plenty deals. You know, from white collar crimes to regular street crimes. Because if you got that expectation, you want to think bigger, and that's what anything that I do. I want to do that other level, and that's from the shit. If I'm fucking with the dope game or the music game or the film game, that's what I want to do is go hard with it, and that's how actually on the road helped me develop acting through my, what got me into the movie situations. I mean, I had started it as a kid when my uncle Henry Brown was Von D. Hall. They were in a Crusade Players group. So him and Von D. Hall, I'm like about 6 years old. That's when they start teaching me acting. And so when I get into the game later, I'm start learning more because, I'm with him more. So later life come, everybody start dealing with the streets at a point. So by not knowing what I'm with a professional, and he's teaching me the whole time. So I learned that, coming up through the streets, and then dipping back and forth to to Cali, to Atlanta, and all that. Because if you gonna catch cases like I had seen, like I was catching cases on a regular basis at a point in life, from like 14 to 18, 19, it seemed like, damn, I'm always going to jail. Fuck around, you got 6, 7 felonies and shit, because you can go in the fucking jail all the damn time. So that was when, it was like, I want to still, do this other shit because there's so much other stuff that you're not getting caught for. But then you run into the situation like when I ran into getting beat by the police. Shit, that was one of the times that sent me to prison. That was the first time I had went to prison and shit. Because I made him run and shit. He wasn't no white guy, nothing like that. He was a black guy. Beat the shit, pistol whip the shit out of me. Left me laying in the snow. But they wind up, when they took me down in there, the sergeant so mad. I mean, it was like, they sent me I wound up doing 2 years in prison. I came out, I sued them, but it was just some little minor shit that they, gave me. But it was, I've been seeing the George Floyds and all that. I've been seeing them around here, for real.
And what happened that the cops ended up beating you up for?
Actually, at that time, I was in a stolen car that my guy, he had swooped up and he happened to be in a stolen car. And then I see he in a stolen car. They coming up the street. I make them run. I mean, we jump up out the whip. All of us jump out, run, boom, run around and shit. They catch me hiding. He come, because I see him, follow me. He running him. The other guy running after him and shit. They follow me. They catch me, start pistol whipping me. Just because I made them run. That was it. It was just that simple. It wasn't nothing that I did, nothing. I was hiding at the time he did it. He come out and surprised me with it and hit me upside my, across my shit. That shit was crazy to do the time after that, I could see if I could have went home and shit. I had to sit in the penitentiary and shit.
You do 2 years for the stolen car, I take it?
That was when it wasn't. I was actually at that time on the run because I had escaped from the because I had got sentenced to a halfway house. I was on escape. So they had charged me with the escape, and then they charged me with fleeing and eluding, and that wound up going to. That's how I got the charge out of it. That was his situation with the car. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. So after doing 2 years, you get out of jail and you sue the police. How does that go?
what they did, it was just a little base, because they rushed me in the plea, accepting the shit. The lawyer that I had and shit, he rushed me in accepting, and they were like, well, this is all we gonna get for it. And we had you wasn't really hearing the the suits and all that about it and whatnot. So I'm like, well, I'm fresh out and shit. I'm like, man, I done been locked down within these 3 years. I done been locked down, well, 4 years. I done been locked down 3.5 of them almost with the county and shit. So I'm like, let me get this money. So they give me a little, little 4,000-5,000 type shit, That's all they paid me for that shit. My shit was split open and everything. I don't know what effect I had from that shit, But it was just, that's how they did me. Then they make you sign off on it,
Man. Sounds like you should have got a lot more.
Oh man, I should have got a whole lot more. I did nothing, Left me in the snow, lumped up.
But I mean, shit. I mean, there's a lot of people that have gotten beat up and they don't get nothing. So I mean, I guess.
Exactly. It's a lot of them. Just.
Too bad nobody had it on camera for you.
That's what it is. Now that you got all that out there, it's different. It ain't. No, that ain't happening. Then if you come up and you got more of a probable, they ain't shoving it under there like that. Nah.
Well, I was looking and I seen that you've been shot before.
Yeah. I was what year was that? Cause this was when I during the time that we was transitioning. I forget exactly. What is that year? I'm actually, this what transitioned to me moving to getting out of the city, and that's what started me moving from Atlanta and all these other situations. But I mean, it wound up being a good situation out of a bad, because I recall that day going to do a deal with somebody. And come in and this is a bunch of dope fiends, about like 6 of them in the house. And when and when we go in there, it was just a bunch of just everybody moved out. Everybody moved out, and then the guy I'm here to deal with come in there. We deal with him. Then he has some guy come in, and it wind up leading to a scuffle, and he wind up shooting me. I thankfully got out of that because another guy come in, they didn't got the lumping me up and everything, and then I get up out of there thankfully, and then run about a mile. I run a mile shot, and then just fall out. They take me to the hospital on it. That was basically it.
How many times did you get shot?
Shit, it was they just shot me once.
Where'd they hit you?
They shot me once in right in my upper leg. Yeah. And
you're able to still run down the street to try to get away? Right.
That's why when I got away, that's what I lost all the blood. That's why I fell out, and that's when they had to take me to the hospital. I woke up about a day later, after they got a bunch of pumped me back with blood. I was good.
Did you have to have surgery or anything?
Shit, you had that initial surgery they do when you come in there. That's it. I ain't had no complications and no shit from it.
How long were you in the hospital?
Shit, just a couple days. They don't keep you in the hospital like that when you shot. They getting your ass out of there.
And you were good? It was like it didn't take you that long to recover?
Shit, nah. They you just take your time to recover. That's about all they do when you get into a situation like that. Cause you think about it, when you shot, that motherfucker healing when it go on in there. So that's all, just that street life though. That's that street life, but that lead into doing more with yourself. Than just being the motherfucking street person and going to jail and all that other. Cause shit, I know for sure I done did too much of it, and I ain't trying to see no more.
Did that change how you kind of moved around and everything going through that?
Yeah, that's gonna definitely make you move around different. Period. You know, I mean, if you definitely gonna be still involved with the streets, you know, if you ain't gonna be involved with the streets, then, you know, you're gonna chill. You're gonna be out the way. You know, but you back out there, you better move right. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, get to the paper. That's what it's about. Getting to the paper. And my way to get to it was just, you know, was getting to the music, which led to the films. And that was the way out. But still able to, you know, to bring the streets in every project that I do, you know, every film, all the whole nine.
You do movies too?
Yeah. I started doing that after doing. I mean, it was just off the same, because everything is branched from the film, the music production, which is Buzzed Up Productions. So it's basically is BUP, and I took it into BUP Films, and that's when I put out my first film, and that was 2005, and that was called Another Heist, and that was a martial arts film. That I based it in the hood though. So I based the martial arts. I had a Kempo artist, martial arts artist, starred in it, and then I just brought that to a whole hood situation that, you know, that really hadn't been done. Because I'm like, okay, I ain't, you know, the budget ain't like that, so I'm gonna make sense of it. But the story, you know, storyline good. So I brought that situation into the Detroit hood shit, and that was my first film. And then since then I've done each genre of film. You know, I've done a horror film, I've done a love comedy. You know, so.
Do you act in these films too, and produce them, or?
The first one I didn't. I just did a smaller role in them. But the second one, Vigilante, that's the one that's starring myself and Clifton Powell. And then I got Jerry Lynch from the General Hospital. He's starring in there also. And that one there, that was the first one I went on in and did because of the situation of the story. Because the story that was based on was Hayward Brown. If you ever look up Hayward Brown, back from the 70s, Hayward Brown was involved with the Black Panthers, and they brought it to Detroit. So with that movement, they had a situation where some police wound up getting killed. About 4 police got killed, and because the police was caught up in that dope back then. So this movie was based on Hayward Brown's life, and that actually turned out was my cousin. So for me to be able to do the role, and it's my cousin, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do it. Especially the person the couple people that I was gonna have do it didn't fall through. It was like, I'm just gonna go on and do it. So that's when I started doing the acting in the films, and I started, there after that shit wind up with producing, acting, and directing and shit, at least a couple of them until I brought in John Dawson to direct.
I see that you've worked with Clifton Powell. How'd that come about?
Clifton Powell was this was around the time, what was going on? Oh, my man Donnie. What's up, Donnie? He was doing 2K1, 4K, he was doing this film. What was it? 5K1. Donnie was doing 5K1 at the time. And he had him around, in town, and then Al Madden, hooked me up with him. So that's when I wind up putting together a scene, and he doing some guest stuff, so this the best time. So I went on through an offer, boom, he took it, and then I put together a scene that I could do in a couple hours, but wind up stretching it through the whole movie. And so this was the first time I worked with him. And I went on to working with him a couple other times with my sitcom, My Stepkids. And he just, actually I got I'm actually on 3 episodes of My Stepkids. He's in the end of he's in part of season 2 and he's in the season 3. So, you know, it was a good. After that, he's cool, you know, cool guy. You know, he able, you know, that's my man. You know, I pick up call. You know, he ready. You know. So between him, you know, then getting with Rodney Perry, working on with Rodney Perry on the last project that was an experience because he's a fool. And I think I worked with him on like about 4 or 5 episodes, and that was My Stepkids, which is a comedy, and that's a you know 10 episode season. And right now we're just trying to find a home for it.
And how does your work comment on current social and political issues?
Shit, that's all the album 13 is basically. Album 13 is I mean that's the new album that's coming out June 13th. I put out an album May of last year also called Evolution. And it gets on that, you know, kind of topic as well. But I like to keep music that's timeless, you know, that's gonna be forever, that everybody can relate to. So, but the more album 13 is one now is more getting to their neck, you know, that type of situation. As far as political, spiritual, whatever it is more involved in this one because this shit different now. You know, you see it, everybody else see it, you know, and it's just like it ain't the same old politics and media and all that. It's just like, you know, some sticky shit to stay away from for sure.
How many music projects do you have?
This would be right now it's actually more, but this is right here. This is album 13 that I solely was you know kind of involved with, as far as on the producing end and performing end of it, you know. And this is album 13 that's coming up June 13th, and then you know, but we got others throughout the production, buzzed up music now. And that's what we've turned it over the years to, buzzed up music, just to adapt over the years, and so that expand to, we was doing some Master P type shit in Detroit around them times when others wasn't doing it really, you know. We had that shit going on where we had about like 10 acts. You know, we had the restaurant with the big ass logo on the side of, you know, and we was the only one really, you know, doing that in the hood. You know, others was, you know, they was, you know, doing some, but we was just like, fuck it, let's go overboard with it. You know, and then, you know, things got a little fucked up when, you know, my brother passed, but just try to keep on.
Are you working with any other Detroit artists?
I come out the studio with we all basically come out, like right now we in Mix Factory 1, and this is where a lot, when Ivy who owns this studio, we all started like in his basement and shit. Royce, Bazaar, you know, shit. Everybody used to be up in Ivy basement. You know, so we all come out, you know, that same standpoint. So, you know, I've come across, you know, with a lot of them, and then I work with like Bootleg with Dayton Family, you know, and then Big Hurt, he in Detroit, and you know, then recently working with Nisha Nashay, Bianca Bad, Payroll Giovanni. And I'm, you know, just keeping abreast with, you know, everybody that's going every step. I try to tap in with all of them.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, you know, but basically where we going right now, you know, the future. This one of the future we got right here. This Dolo Reek.
What up, though, with it?
And this one of the artists out of under Buzzed Up Music. You know, and also you're part of FCF, and then we got a couple other artists that we working with, Papa Drama and Lil Lano Banks, and then we got Greek Champagne, You know, something new I'm trying to deal with. And then I'm looking out, messing with some family, you know, chain gang, trying to see what them boys over there talking about. And we just gonna give them some music. We're gonna release this album 13. I got a mixtape following. We're gonna do the marketing and all that stuff for that. And then we got a film coming out next year. But I'm doing the casting starting the end of the year. We're gonna start casting for it. It was a film that was supposed to have been done about two years ago, but it was one of the ones that had to have that little more budget with it, basically. So, cause I'll need certain people in it to do certain shit that to pull it off. Cause it's right now, if I'm not doing it right, I don't even need to be doing it. Period. So, but that's what we got all that. Look out for all the projects. Go to buzzedupmusic.com. All Instagram, Mr. Spoatcoat. Buzzed Up Music, Sean Spoatcoat Brown. Sean Spoatcoat Brown gonna get you more on my acting film side of stuff and BUP films, and then the music, Mr. Spoatcoat. That's it is what it is, So I'm loving where we at right now. Then oh yeah, we got an event coming up on the 19th next week. We doing a virtual show from Atlanta. On the 19th, 7 o'clock. Just gonna be streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Songkick, and Instagram. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have some Atlanta artists, some Detroit artists, and then I'm just basically taking a 25-city tour, and we're gonna do it virtually. Do it to cut down the COVID. We ain't gotta worry about nothing, but give you a nice performance in a nice, elegant situation. So tune in for that for sure.
Man, sounds like you got a lot coming up, man. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up. We got a plenty coming up.
Well, man, I appreciate you, man. This was, your story was pretty dope. I liked it, man.
I appreciate it. Look forward to it next time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of stuff coming on, a lot of movies, man. That's what's up. I like that. All that is thinking bigger than just music, man. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it was even bigger than that because I'm doing, I got the property, my BUP properties going on also, so that's another side of thing with the general contractor. So you got to just definitely be abreast of everything to eat out here nowadays. Shit is unpredictable.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Well, man,
all right.
This is dope. I appreciate you. Till next time.
All right, peace. Holla at you.